Hey everybody, it's Kelly with Inky Hands Warm Hearts. How are you? I'm excited to be with you today and bring you a really fun project. So let's go ahead and get started. We are going to be making this, I call it an inside-outside card because you can see the inside from the outside. It's a fun card to make, and I hope that you will enjoy watching me make it, and we'll have fun making your own after this video. So I've used, as you can see, it has a really pretty texture on the outside. I have used this embossing folder called Ornate Floral 3D embossing folder. It's a really versatile one, and it goes really great with any floral stamp sets that you have. I'm addicted to floral stamp sets, so this was a must-have for me. Definitely check that out. I will show you how to use it. The sentiment that's in here, this happy birthday, does not come with the Boughs and Blossoms, but it's another stamp set that I own, and it's a great one. It's called Biggest Wish. It has these awesome bold words, and then it has the same words in a script and this cute little plus. So you can pair them together like I've done here and do the birthday in large and the happy in small, or you could do the happy in large and the birthday. It's a really fun combo stamp set, so I definitely recommend it. You can check it out at my online store. It will be linked in the description below. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the die. This is the die that I used to cut this out, and it's called Stitch So Sweetly Dies. It's a very versatile die set. I do use it quite often, so you will definitely see it again in videos if you subscribe to my channel, because I do use it often. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to move this Boughs and Blossoms stamp set out of the way, and we're going to go ahead and get started. All right, the main piece for this card is 5.5 by 8.5, and it is a piece of fresh freesia cardstock. I've scored it at 4 1/4, and it's going to get folded in half. Then we have another piece of cardstock that is 5.5 by 4 1/4 that will fit right over the top. The reason that I have chosen to have two pieces, one to fit right over the top, is when you run your embossing folder through, it breaks down the fibers of the paper and it becomes really pliable, and it's not a really good piece to put on the front, so you need reinforcement. So to add an extra piece, you can do your die cutting and your embossing on this piece and layer on top of a strong piece. Now, in order to do that, you're going to have to take both of these pieces. You can see this one's already die cut, and you're going to run them together through your die cut machine, and it is going to cut out this hole in both layers. So you only need to run it through once, and it will cut both of them out. So you'll have a hole in this one and a hole in this one. Then you're going to take this piece, just the individual 5.5 by 4 1/4 inch piece, and you're going to run it through your die cut machine through this embossing folder, the Ornate Floral. And when you pull it out, you'll have this. Isn't this pretty? So that is what it will give you. You can see it's a lot more pliable now than it was when it was solid. So it's just more floppy, which is why you cut two holes, because now you can layer this directly on top of the hole, and they line up perfectly because you have cut them out at the same time. All right, so that gives you that advantage. We're going to use our blending brush with our fresh freesia and we're going to go ahead and put some color on this piece. You can see it's a lot lighter than this, and it helps to bring out the flowers as well. So let's go ahead and start that. I'm going to move this one out of the way. I'm going to bring in a scrap of cardstock. We're going to go ahead and pick up some fresh freesia, and we're just going to highlight these flowers by going over the top of them in a circular motion. I'm going to do this half, and then I'm going to flip it around, pick up some more color, and do the other half. And you can see how pretty it really makes those flowers stand out. All right, so there is our fresh freesia with our blending brushes. These are available in the online store as well. and they will be linked in the description below. Let's go ahead and put some adhesive on the back of this piece. I'm going to grab my silicone mat because I'm going to be using some wet glue, and I do like to use that mat whenever I do anything with wet glue. So let's grab my glue out of my drawer here. We're going to go ahead and get it started. Come on, there we go. And the reason that I like to use this wet glue whenever I have anything embossed is because it soaks into these embedded nooks and crannies, I call them, around my piece. It's also a very strong adhesive, so it will bond to the cardstock really well. I am kind of overkilling it, I think, though, by I do put a lot of adhesive on here, but I just want to make sure that every section of it will get covered. All right, let's bring in our card. I'm gonna open it up, and then we will lay this piece. The other really awesome thing about it is it gives you some wiggle room so that you can slide this into place and line it up perfectly. I'm gonna go ahead and just lightly press down. All right, I think that looks pretty good. And there is the front of our card. All right, now we do have a piece for the inside, and that is a piece of 5 1/4 by 4 inches of basic white cardstock. And this is going to be inserted here in the center, and then we're going to do our stamping through this window. So let's go ahead and adhere it. I'm going to use some Stampin' Seal, which is my main adhesive that I use when I make cards, especially when I'm attaching layers. So I'm going to go ahead and insert this. It's going to leave a border all the way around so that you can still see this fresh freesia. There we go. And now through the window, we're going to have that pretty white. So let's go ahead and use our Biggest Wish. I already have it on the block. I have one on one side and one on the other. So we'll start with the fresh freesia, and we'll do the word birthday. So I'm going to ink that up. Make sure it's nice and covered. I'm going to bring this down so I can see a little better when I'm stamping, and I'm going to kind of place this in the window about near the bottom section, because I definitely want to have room for the happy at the top. So I'm going to do my best. I'm going to press hard, give it a nice press, and there's the word birthday. It's going to dry, so I'm going to go ahead and clean this off, and then we will go ahead and do the word happy. I just don't want to get my hand full of fresh freesia ink. Close that temporarily. I will use it again. All right, so now we're going to ink up the word happy, and we're going to do that in Memento Tuxedo Black ink. And then I'm going to bring it down here so I can see, and I'm going to layer it right over the top so that parts of the P that hangs down will be on the word birthday. So we're just going to press that into place. So there's our happy birthday. I think that looks really good. All right, let's go ahead and stamp a flower on the inside. We're going to use fresh freesia to do that. We'll use this one that we're going to use on the outside to tie it in. We'll just put it in this corner, just like that. All right. I've already die cut out all of the flowers and leaves. Well, I didn't die cut them. I fussy cut them. There is no die for this stamp set, so you have to fussy cut them out. And I left a border all the way around, but I didn't think you wanted to sit here and watch me fussy cut everything out. So I went ahead and did it ahead of time. I want to attach this leaf to one of these flowers. So I'm going to grab my dimensionals. That's what I'm going to use to adhere all of these. So we'll start with this one. We're going to put this one right here. And we kind of want a leaf that comes out here to the side. So I'm just going to hold it as far out as I want it to show. And when I'm happy with it, I'm going to turn it upside down. And then I'm going to take a dimensional and I'm actually going to adhere that onto that flower with that dimensional, and it gets it right where I want it. Okay, we're going to put another dimensional on this other side, which should hold our flower down. And then I'm going to put 2 minis on the leaves because I don't want them to sag. So we'll put 1 on each of those. And then let's go ahead and grab our Take Your Pick tool. We're going to pull the backs off. And we'll have 1 flower ready to go. We'll go ahead and adhere that onto our piece. What do you guys think? Looks good so far. Now we're going to work on this one. So the bottom section has 2 flowers that kind of overlap like so, and then 1 leaf that falls between them. So let's go ahead and attach the 2 flowers first. We're going to flip that over, and I'm going to use, like I did with my leaf on the first flower, I'm going to attach those together with a Stampin' dimensional so I don't have to worry about it anymore. Now we're going to position where we want that leaf to kind of fall into place. We want it to show. We don't want this crack here, so we're going to move it down, and maybe like that. That looks pretty good to me. So let's go ahead and pull that up. Oops. Pull that up, make sure that I have it in place where I would like it. And let's put another dimensional to hold it into place. All right, now we just have to be careful because part of this is going to show through the window. So we don't want any dimensionals there, but on the parts that do not show through the window, I'm going to tuck some dimensionals back behind there. So let's go ahead and do this leaf, this petal also. And then of course on the leaves, those will not show because they're near the bottom of the card. I'm going to put 1 on each of those, and that should be plenty. All right, let's go ahead and pull the backs off of our dimensionals here. And now we can attach this piece onto our card. That's pretty. And then let's go ahead and add our beautiful rhinestones. They are the Rhinestone Basic Jewels. I do use these often. As you can see, I'm missing quite a few from this pack. They're so pretty and I really love to use them. So we're gonna go ahead and use our Take Your Pick tool, only this time the putty end. We'll put 1 of these small ones on the inside right here and a large one in this corner. And then let's add a small one with a single flower, maybe up here. That looks good to me. All right, so that is our Rhinestone Basic Jewels. What do you guys think of this card? I think it turned out pretty awesome. I'm very happy with it. I think that it turned out pretty great, and I hope that you think so as well. So I appreciate you watching me today. Definitely subscribe to my channel. I would greatly appreciate that. And if you have any questions, put them in the comments below, or any comments just in general, that would be fine. Hit the like button if you wouldn't mind. I would appreciate that as well. And if you've stuck with me to the end, thank you so much. I do appreciate all of my viewers, and I'm grateful for you guys. So definitely check out the other videos on my channel, and I will see you next time. This is Kelly with Inky Hands Warm Hearts. Happy stamping!